Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Aladdin. Welcome back to the channel. Today we got something new discovered, and this is 15 things humans were never meant to see. In other words, either the government covered it up, CIA, basically the same thing. So let's get into it.
From a gravity-defying spot, an alien skeleton, the lost Atlantis, an alien aircraft, and the abominable turtle's mouth that will give you nightmares. We present you with a list of things that humans were never meant to see. Remains of a 6-inch humanoid were found in an abandoned mining town in Chile's Atacama Desert in 2003. It was only 6 inches tall. The long, angular skull, slanted eye sockets, and fewer than normal ribs, 10 pairs rather than the normal 12, deepened the mystery surrounding the skeleton. It was thought to be ancient at first, but an initial analysis...
See, y'all can't tell me aliens ain't real. And this makes sense that they're this small. I mean, think about how fast the so-called UFOs go. Like, you gotta be small just to fit into one of those. And it's going so fast. Like, this makes sense if they're this small. But then again, they do grow up to be taller, but who knows?
Conducted in 2012 proved that the skeleton was only about 40 years old. But due to its peculiar nature and unusual size, people speculated that it was an alien skeleton. The claims weren't so far-fetched, but the scientists, as usual, shut them down by saying that it was the skeleton of a human baby who died shortly after birth. About the unusual body density, they said it was due to dwarfism, a rare genetic mutation. The mystery spot. Want to see something outright cool? Well, we have for you a mystery spot in Santa Cruz, California that'll make you question the laws of physics. Gravity? What's that? Newton? Maybe a delusional scientist. Visitors experience demonstrations that appear to defy gravity on the short but steep uphill walk and inside a wooden building on the site. The mystery spot is a popular tourist attraction and gained recognition as a roadside gravity box or...
I want to go visit this place. Like, for real. This looks dope.
tilted house. Oh man, this is so cool! Maybe it's a secret portal into another dimension, hence the loose gravity. Water on fire. Now, this is one thing none of us imagined we'd see one day. Can you imagine water being on fire? Well, say no more, as we even have that for you. Methane bubbles in water can make fire after a contact. Many scientists have termed this as a dangerous phenomenon and advise people to stop lighting the methane bubbles. But who can argue with a butthead? Another horrific spectacle we have for you is from the Gulf of Mexico. Due to an oil explosion, a fire broke out in an underwater oil pipeline in the Gulf several meters deep in the sea, off the coast of Campeche. People have named it the Eye of the Devil.
Just like that.
Egg inside of an egg. Imagine you wanted to make pancakes, but there's only one egg left in the refrigerator. Now, what would you do? Well, crack the only one open. Maybe it has another egg. No, I'm not pranking you guys. This really does happen. Not a magician's trick, but there is a scientific explanation behind this. A big egg encompassing a small one is due to a process known as counter-peristalsis contraction. It occurs when a formed egg begins traveling backward in a hen's oviduct and becomes embedded inside a second egg in the process of developing. The second egg forms around the first, hence the larger size. Well, what are the odds? Why do all the cool things never happen to...
Talk about having twins or something. Or, hey, birds could probably have twins. You know, an egg inside of an egg. Come on. What do we do when we have twins? Two babies in one. Boom.
To me, where the two oceans meet. Not only us humans, but the oceans too make borders and establish boundaries. Yeah, they really don't want to mix in each other's water. The Atlantic and Pacific Oceans meet at the southernmost tip of South America. In this region, a strong current carries water from west to east, sweeping water from the Pacific into the Atlantic. Now, why don't they mix? Well, that's because they have several differences and issues that they need to resolve. The North Atlantic is warmest and saltiest. The South Atlantic is coldest and densest, but the North Pacific is least dense and least salty. The extreme values in the temperature, density, and salinity of these oceans don't let them mix into each other. Ancient earthquake detectors. Okay, I kind of love how China has always been up on their game. In the invention world, I mean, who would think that when people were using fire lamps, the Chinese had come up with a way to detect earthquakes? Well, a guy named Zhang Heng created a seismometer, a device that detects the ground's movement.
I'm sorry, guys, but if y'all ever played Dynasty Warriors, that name, Zhang Yang, kind of reminds me of a character on Dynasty Warriors. Y'all look up that game, man. It's a dope ass game, but he looks just like the guy.
During an earthquake. It couldn't predict quakes, but it did show what direction they were coming from, even when they were hundreds of miles away. Impressive, right? Even though scientists have recreated it, still, the inner workings of it are a mystery. But we think that the creation of this mysterious thing may have some extraterrestrial intervention. What? They did help the Egyptians with pyramids. Why not help the Chinese with this? Kind of makes sense to me. What do you think? Tell us in the comments. The walking clams. Did you guys know that clams can walk? It turns out that, yes, they can indeed move here and there. But what's the purpose of it? Well, it's to score chicks. Both male and female clams were observed walking towards members of the opposite sex. When hard clams spawn, they release their sperm and eggs into the water column where fertilization takes place. By aggregating near one another, the clams increase the likelihood that the eggs are successfully fertilized. They actually don't have legs, but have a foot that helps them drag their body from one place to another. Now, whatever the reason is, they look weird. Nazca lines. The Nazca lines are a group of geoglyphs made in the soil of the Nazca Desert in southern Peru. They were created between 500 BC and AD 500 by people making depressions or shallow incisions in the desert floor, removing pebbles, and leaving differently colored dirt exposed. Most lines run straight across the landscape, but there are also designs of animals and plants. The combined length of all the lines is over 1,300 kilometers, and the group covers an area of about 50 kilometers square. There's a ton of controversy regarding these figurines, as many claim that they're made by aliens. Lakes inside the ocean. Did you know that there are literally lakes inside of the ocean? How is it possible? Well, as the water seeps up because of the dissolved salt layer, it causes the seabed to collapse and form depressions. The dissolved salt makes the water denser, and because it's denser than the water around it, it will settle into the depressions, forming a river or a lake. And there are even some creatures that enjoy hanging out by these lakes. Huge fields of mussels are found growing along the edges of some of these lakes. This far beneath the ocean surface, sunlight is extremely hard to come by. How do crocodiles swim? Most of us imagine crocodiles chilling in the water, swimming like fishes. Well, that's not true at all. Look just how these fellas swim. Shocked, right? but damn is it super funny, guys. When swimming, the crocodile places its limbs against its body and propels itself by swinging its flexible, laterally flattened tail from side to side in a wave-like motion. At slow speeds, only the tail moves, and its limbs are used to steer and stabilize it through the water. These beasts are cunning predators, but it turns out that they're not strong swimmers. And lastly, if you ever wish to swim with one, head to the Australian Cage of Death. Grass bubbles. Seeing this will definitely calm your nerves. This is a grass bubble or a lawn bubble that forms after heavy rains, when the rainwater flows under a lawn grass root, but is unable to drain further due to saturated soil underneath, creating a muddy, water-filled bubble cavity between the grass and the underlying dirt. They are soft and squishy, and man, I want to see one pop so bad!
Oh.
Water tornado. Have you guys seen the amazing water tornado? Just like their land counterpart, these are also massive vortexes hovering over the body of water. A water spout or water tornado is actually an intense funnel-shaped cloud that occurs over a body of water. Most water spouts don't actually suck up water. They're small and weak rotating columns of air over water. Although they are most often weaker than their land counterparts, a tornado that travels from land to a body of water would also be considered a tornadic water spout.
That's pretty cool.
Clouds falling. I bet y'all surely haven't seen this one. This isn't your average candy floss, but a literal cloud on the land. Now, many of you will argue that clouds are just water, they can't just fall to the ground. Fall streak holes, also known as hole punch clouds, are the result of cold air temperatures and atmospheric instability. Viewed from below, it can appear as if part of the cloud is falling out of the sky. As it turns out, that's actually what's happening. Yeah, science sure sounds cool, but the spectacle is oh my god. The blue lava. The most famous and exquisite volcanic lava in the world is Indonesia's Kawah Ijen volcano on the island of Java, which has some of the highest levels of sulfur in the world, and is also the site of sulfur mining. Due to the occurrence of the flames, Kawah Ijen has also been nicknamed the Blue Volcano. This blue color is seen best at night, and it feels like a sight from another planet. The lava in itself is red or orange, and the blue color, as explained above, is due to a high concentration of sulfur. When sulfur from within the volcano breaches the surface, it reaches temperatures of up to 1,112 degrees Fahrenheit, and the sulfur immediately encounters lower temperatures and pressures at the surface, which causes the sulfur to immediately ignite and erupt blue flames up to 16 feet in the air. Pyramids under Antarctic ice. Do you know that there are pyramids in Antarctica? Thanks to Google Earth, some mysterious new pyramids have been discovered in Antarctica. It was discovered by the British Antarctic Expedition from 1910 to 1913. But recently, some photos were released from Google Earth that sparked people's interest in the icy peak.
You know what this reminds me of? If you ever played The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, they call these specifics shrines. And when you're going throughout the whole entire game, there's even some in the ice. Pyramids. We have pyramids all over the world. Under our oceans. And now in the ice. That's crazy.
It flourished the idea that an ancient human civilization once lived in Antarctica, as scientists suggest humans could once have lived there, as it was once a lot warmer, perhaps even up to 20 degrees centigrade. But the scientists claimed that it was just an icy mountain and nothing more. Also, you can't argue with conspiracy theorists, as according to them, these Antarctica pyramids are used as a secret base where the government carries out their sinister experiments. Flying mystery object. A woman named Jennifer Rollins spotted an illuminated object in the night sky while visiting her family in Colorado and Nebraska. Not only Jennifer, but many other people living nearby witnessed this strange hovering object. First, it was declared as some drone, but after investigating, it was found out that no drone was operating there at the time of the sighting. This obviously elevated the curiosity of conspiracy theorists, who termed it an extraterrestrial sighting. However, there was also one opinion according to which this unexplained aerial phenomenon might not be alien life visiting Earth. It could rather be a foreign adversary, like Russia or China, that might be fielding some kind of next-generation technology in American airspace that the United States doesn't know about. Giant finger. Giants have always been the talk of the town of myths and legends. But what if I tell you that there is proof that they do exist? In 1988, Gregor Spuri accidentally came across something rather incredible in Egypt. It was a 15-inch long, mummified finger. He found this finger in a mummy tomb near the pyramids of Giza. The giant finger was chopped at the bone. It had a dark color, somewhat old, rotten, peeled at the edges like crumbled paper, and the fingernail still intact. But the scientific community didn't pay much heed to him, as he only had the photos as proof, rather than the actual alleged giant finger. But if this is all true, then I think we have cracked the mystery of who made the gigantic pyramids of Giza. Frozen alien crop circle eggs. After this video surfaced on the internet, people started speculating about this unusual pattern. It was captured by two friends walking on a frozen lake in Utah. Some said that it was where the alien spaceship landed, and that the extraterrestrial aircraft implanted this structure in the snow. If you guys think this is far-fetched, just listen to the next one, as some conspiracy theorists went a step further by stating that these are the eggs of aliens, as according to the witnesses, the ice had a slimy texture, resembling an egg. Alien abduction. All these rumors were sparked after this alleged alien abduction video went viral on social media. In this doorbell camera video, you can see a homeowner in Houston walking out of his house and vanishing after getting sucked by something in the air. It was believed that maybe the guy was taken hostage by aliens. But all those theories were put to rest when the man came and addressed the situation by saying that it was just a camera malfunction. Well, was it? Or did someone make him say that? This picture is from a model of a secret space program that is under processing by the government of the United States. No one knew about this or had any idea until a whistleblower leaked this information and the image. It was revealed then that the government is trying to build this revolutionary space tech. Well, we hope it would go well, and we will witness this amazing spaceship. Mystery object. A mysterious, unidentified object was caught on camera that went past this SpaceX capsule. You might be thinking that it could be some kind of space rock, but the crew aboard assured that it wasn't. All they said was that it looked like a gnarled knob. Strangely, it didn't try to signal or establish contact with them. However, the object was apparently 45 kilometers from the craft, a far enough distance that there was no real danger to the crew or the spacecraft. Before we jump into all our alien spacecraft claims, let me tell you what the scientific community thinks. Sources say it could be ice from liquid oxygen in the rocket. The Devil's Bible. Alright, this one is as creepy as the name. The Codex Gigas, also known as the Devil's Bible, is famous for being the largest book from medieval times. It was meant to be a work of history. That's why it contains the Christian Bible in its entirety. But who actually wrote it is unknown. But many legends point to the devil himself. The most intriguing part of the strange book is the portraits of the devil, in which it seems like the devil is crouching and facing forward. He was naked, apart from an ermine loincloth. Ermine is worn as a sign of royalty. It is believed that the devil wears ermine in this image to demonstrate that he is the Prince of Darkness. The Lost Atlantis. Unlike many other legendary things that have been lost, I have long desired the lost city of Atlantis. But what if I told you that Japan has something like that on its own? A shocker, right? Well, it turns out that roughly 25 meters underneath the waters of Japan lies an underwater rock pyramid known as the Yonaguni Monument, which resembles the ziggurats built in ancient Sumer. However, the last rise in sea level would have been more than 10,000 years ago. In other words, it was built 5,000 years before the Egyptian pyramids and megalithic buildings like Stonehenge. But no one knows who constructed it or when. However, it exists, accessible to anyone who wishes to go down and investigate. Well, that's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching the video. And if you
Well, guys, once again, all this stuff, man, like, it makes me want to travel. It makes me want to travel. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all next time. Y'all stay safe out there. It's your boy Aladdin.